All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons. They are now first place in the NFC South after today's victory, 16-13 on the road against divisional rival in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know, Desmond Ridder specifically, another game with 3 turnovers, 3 fumbles. I know it wasn't perfect. It certainly was not a sexy victory, but hey, man, Atlanta is now in first place. And these are one of those games, divisional games, but especially against Tampa Bay, who was in first place, 3-2 headed into this game on the road. These are games that you just will take. Like, I will just take that victory. The Falcons defense, man, I swear to you, I've watched every single Falcons game so far through this season, and it's weird because every time I make a Falcons video or I talk about a team, whoever Atlanta played, and I say, look, man, Atlanta's got a really solid defense. They're top 10 in the NFL for a reason. People, kind of think that's crazy. I mean, you see it every week. And I know the final score was 16-13, and I know there were a bunch of turnovers. I know Desmond Ridder's got to figure this out ASAP. But hey, man, that defense is pretty freaking legit. There's a lot of new faces coming on, but they had a lot of existing talent, guys like AJ Terrell. I like where Atlanta is right now. They're 4-3 with essentially a rookie quarterback. And yeah, we're going to talk about this game. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We do post at least one Falcons video every single week. Falcons fans, try and get this video to 200 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So we'll talk about some of the good before we got to dive into, some of the more unideal things. Possession-wise, 30-30. I still just, Desmond Ridder at the end of the day, 19-25, 250 yards. All of his turnovers came through fumbling, but he did have a rushing touchdown. He finished the game with 6 rushes for 38 yards and a touchdown. Keep in mind, Bijan Robinson, we didn't really find this out until halftime, but Bijan Robinson apparently didn't feel well. So they're missing an extremely important piece in their running game and on their offense in general. Tyler Algier. And keep in mind, man, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, it's a very difficult Super Bowl-esque, maybe not still Super Bowl, but they are still a highly above average defense. You had Tyler Algier, 21 carries, only 59 yards for 2.8 yards per carry. And like we said, Desmond Ridder, although he did have 38 rushing yards, he had 3 fumbles. Bijan Robinson, he finished the day with just 1 carry for 3 yards. So you think to yourself, well, Mr. Cordell Patterson, this is a guy we have not really seen any of Cordell Patterson so far this season. And it's something that a lot of Falcons fans have been saying in my comment section, like, yo, I know we've got a loaded running back room, but we got to try and find some way to implement Cordell Patterson. And today was the perfect opportunity within under the weather Bijan Robinson. He finished the day 10 carries for 56 yards, averaging 5.6 yards per carry. That is so huge because Atlanta, they ran over 150 yards. They ran for 156 total yards on 38 tries, averaging 4.1 yard per carry, and then that rushing touchdown. That's incredible because, we know Atlanta's strong suit. We know their biggest strength is their rushing attack. And considering, the most talented guy out there in your running back room, no shade to Tyler, no shade to Cordell, Bijan Robinson's a superstar-esque talent here. The fact that they were able to put up 156 rushing yards against the Tampa Bay defense, that is a great, great sign. So, Ridder has had, 6 turnovers in the last 2 games. We need to see that cleaned up ASAP. I love the next couple, I would say 3 to 4 games. I'd like the next 4 games. The Jets have a good defense for Atlanta. Atlanta could rattle 3 out of those 4 off. But keep in mind this, although Ridder did not throw a touchdown pass, although they did not really have Bijan Robinson at all today, they had 401 total yards of offense. So the reason, I hate to keep, knocking Ridder down. I'm not trying to knock him down, but you do have to be accountable for this stuff. Ridder kind of left, 17 points on the board. So when we said at the beginning of this video, I really felt like Atlanta dominated in just about every single facet outside of their offensive red zone. They went just 1 of 5 in red zone efficiency. That's not going to work, but it worked today. And so that's something you're going to take. Another thing that just isn't going to work, first off, obviously the 3 turnovers. We also had 9 penalties for 60 yards. These are drive killers. These are just not great things. So give Ridder some time. keep in mind he's still a rookie. He's essentially played what 9 football games now, so I'm going to give him until at least Thanksgiving. But the good news is they're number 1 in the NFC South, and they've got a long. We still have over half of a season left of regular season football play. It's too many times to use the word regular season, but you get my point. I'm gonna be patient because, hey man, at the end of the day, a win is a win. So let's talk about this defense, man. Richie Grant, AJ Terrell. I think these are 2 of the most underrated, underknown secondary players in the entire National Football League. Calais Campbell continues to do Calais Campbell things, forcing a fumble this afternoon. Late Nate Landman with 12 total tackles and a forced fumble. Richie Grant finished with 8 tackles. Jesse Bates III with 6 tackles. New addition, Caden Ellis and Jeff Okuda with 6 tackles each. It's a great complementary defense. Now, I know there are still some issues in the stats sphere that they are, I think, 24th in total sacks. Yeah, they only have 13 total sacks on the season. Today, they did a great job taking advantage of that weaker Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line. Tampa's pass protection has been relatively fine. The rushing offensive line has not. We kind of saw a little bit of that today. We'll talk about that in a second. But 3 total sacks, 2 forced fumbles, an interception. The Atlanta Falcons did cause some turnovers. They had that late huge. Richie's interception at the end of the game, it wasn't game clinching because I think they 3 and out the next possession, but that was huge, man. Tampa Bay was starting to get that momentum going, and yeah, man, all those fumbles is just actually pretty shocking that they were able to get out of Tampa Bay this afternoon with a victory. I'm very impressed with the fact they were able to get this victory. So Arthur Smith, Desmond Ridder, they got to hit the lab. They got to figure this thing out because, even in general, they still need better red zone efficiency offensive wise. Even if Desmond Ridder had fumbled once or twice this afternoon in general after 7 games throughout the season, their red zone offense just has to get better. The good news is, and we're seeing this to a week-to-week basis, they gave up 24 last weekend to Washington, 19 to Houston, 23 to Jacksonville, only 20 to the Lions, 24 to my Green Bay Packers, 10 to the Panthers. We're seeing this defense is above average. This is a for sure top 10 defense, and they're even when they're bending, even when they're giving up these big plays, that 40-yard touchdown pass to Mike Evans, that long rush by Baker Mayfield as the time was coming down to the wire, the defense has been bending sometimes, but they are certainly not breaking, and they've put their team in a position to win all 7 games of the season. So comes down to the offense. Ridder, Arthur Smith, a healthy Bijan Robinson obviously is going to go a long way, but we need to see more. We just need to see efficiency in the red zone. So we'll talk about Atlanta at some point throughout the week, but if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Falcons fans, I can't imagine you guys. That was a heart attack, I'm sure, just waiting to happen for both teams, both fan bases this afternoon. But let me know how you guys are feeling. Your first place in the NFC South, that counts for something. So hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we will see